Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt the cold shadow of manipulation lurking in the guise of a warm smile? Have you ever been drawn into the charm of someone who, beneath the surface, hides intentions as dark as the night? There are individuals who wear the mask of virtue but possess a heart cloaked in cunning deceit. Today we peel back that mask and uncover a truth that many are too afraid to confront. Evil does not always present itself as obvious or monstrous. Sometimes it whispers in the softest of voices, veils itself in beauty, and masquerades as love. It can sit across from you at the dinner table, laugh with you in moments of joy, or even stand beside you when you need comfort the most. But deep inside it harbors motives that corrode trust, crush dreams, and leave behind scars invisible to the eye but heavy on the soul. Take a moment to consider this. Have you ever met someone who seemed to drain the light from every room they entered? Someone whose words, while sweet, carried the sting of malice. Someone who turned your victories into competitions, your vulnerability into weapons, and your love into a battlefield. The truth is, not every woman is a nurturer, not every woman builds bridges, and not every woman seeks to heal. Some destroy, not with open attacks but with subtlety and precision, leaving destruction in their wake while their hands appear clean. This is not a condemnation of women, it is a call to discernment. Evil knows no gender, but today we address a specific manifestation of it, to protect ourselves, to protect others, and to reclaim the power of righteousness. History is replete with stories of women who, driven by jealousy, greed, or a thirst for power, have manipulated kingdoms, destroyed families, and betrayed those who trusted them most. Cleopatra, Jezebel, Delilah, names etched in history not for their virtues but for their vices. But let us not dwell in ancient times alone, for the marks of an evil woman are as prevalent today as they were in the days of yore. In a world that often glorifies charm and charisma, it is easy to be blinded by the exterior. The evil woman does not announce her intentions. She cloaks herself in allure and words that disarm. She will appeal to your deepest desires, play on your fears, and exploit your weaknesses, all while ensuring her actions serve her own hidden agenda. Now, some of you may be asking, how can we tell? How can we differentiate between those who uplift and those who seek to destroy? The answer lies in observing the patterns, the subtle behaviors that reveal more than words ever could. Evil leaves footprints, and today we will trace those marks, not to judge but to protect. Before we dive into these signs, let me clear, this is not about labeling or condemning individuals, but about identifying behaviors that harm relationships, erode trust, and sow discord. The purpose is not to cast blame but to empower you with the tools to recognize and confront such traits, whether in others or, dare I say, in yourself. The marks of an evil woman are not born, they are bred through choices, circumstances, and a refusal to embrace growth. To spot these signs is not only to safeguard yourself but to hold a mirror to the world, reflecting the kind of behavior we must collectively reject. So, let us now transition from the shadows of intrigue into the light of clarity. These are the 7 marks of an evil woman. As I share them with you, listen carefully. Do you recognize these traits in someone around you? Do you see glimpses of these tendencies in yourself? Let this knowledge be both a shield and a sword, guiding you toward truth and away from harm. The manipulative heart. The first and most dangerous mark of an evil woman is the manipulative heart. Manipulation is not always loud or overt. In fact, its greatest power lies in its subtlety. A manipulative heart doesn't approach you with direct confrontation, it approaches with kindness that feels genuine, words that seem thoughtful, and actions that appear supportive. But behind that facade, there is always a hidden agenda. Imagine this: you've trusted someone deeply, shared your dreams, your fears, and your vulnerabilities. You believe they were your ally, your confidant, someone who wanted the best for you. Yet over time, you begin to notice that every conversation revolves around what they want. Every decision seems to benefit them more than it benefits you. Slowly, without realizing it, you become a pawn in their game. This is the silent destruction of manipulation. It erodes trust and diminishes the essence of your soul. A manipulative heart doesn't ask outright. It persuades, coerces, and entices. It plants seeds of doubt and makes you question your instincts. It thrives in making you feel guilty for things you've never done, convincing you that your worth is tied to how much you can give, how far you can bend, and how willing you are to sacrifice your happiness for theirs. You see, manipulation is an art, a dangerous and destructive art. A manipulative woman knows how to use words like weapons, carefully crafted to cut deep while appearing harmless. She may smile at you, offering sweet reassurances, all while her actions push you further into her web. Her words, though comforting on the surface, carry hidden barbs designed to control, to dominate, and to make you dependent on her approval. This is why it's crucial to recognize manipulation for what it is. Manipulation is not love. Manipulation is not care. Manipulation is control masquerading as concern. It's someone dictating the terms of your life while convincing you that it's all for your good. And the more you give in, the more they take, until there's nothing left of your independence, your dreams, or your self-respect. A manipulative heart often uses guilt as its most potent weapon. After everything I've done for you, how could you think of leaving? If you cared about me, you'd listen. These words are not the language of love, they are chains, carefully designed to keep you bound. A manipulative woman doesn't empower you, she weakens you, ensuring that you are never strong enough to break free from her grasp. But manipulation isn't only about control, it's about power. A manipulative woman craves the feeling of being in control, of bending others to her will, of dictating outcomes that always serve her interests. Her heart isn't driven by love or connection, it's driven by a hunger for dominance. And the scariest part, she does it all while maintaining the illusion of innocence. To the world, she might appear kind, caring, and selfless. But those who truly know her story bear the scars of her manipulation. Her greatest skill lies in turning your strength into a weakness. She'll praise you just enough to keep you close, but never enough to make you feel independent. She'll uplift you just enough to keep you hopeful, but never enough to make you feel free. She thrives in the in-between, keeping you tethered to her will while dangling the illusion of care. But let me ask you something, is this love? Is this the kind of relationship you deserve? If you feel the constant need to justify your choices, if you feel drained instead of fulfilled, if you're always the one compromising while they reap the rewards, this is not partnership. This is manipulation. A manipulative woman is a master of twisting narratives to suit her needs. She will rewrite history, making you question your memories, making you doubt your reality. She doesn't fight fair because her goal isn't resolution, it's control. Her heart is a battlefield where she wins every war, not because she is stronger, but because she knows how to bend your trust, your love, and your loyalty to her will. Recognizing manipulation takes courage. It takes strength to admit that someone you care for, someone you trusted, may not have your best interests at heart. But here's the truth. The moment you recognize it, the power shifts. The chains of guilt, doubt, and fear begin to weaken. Because manipulation only works in the darkness where you are blind to its presence. Once you bring it to light, once you name it for what it is, it begins to lose its hold. Stay vigilant, my friends. Do not confuse manipulation with love, control with care, or guilt with guidance. A manipulative heart seeks to diminish your light, but you were born to shine. Always remember that. The jealous spirit. The second mark of an evil woman is the jealous spirit, a trait that poisons relationships, destroys trust, and suffocates growth. Jealousy is a silent toxin, often hidden behind smiles and words of encouragement, but its effects are unmistakable. It doesn't just harm the jealous person, it consumes everyone in its orbit. Jealousy begins as a seed, a whisper of discontent when others succeed, a fleeting sense of inadequacy when someone else shines brighter. But when that seed takes root, it grows into something far more destructive. A jealous woman doesn't just want what others have, she wants them to lose it. Her joy is not in achieving her own success, but in seeing others falter. Imagine a friend who never seems to celebrate your victories. She claps when you're around, but you can feel the tension in her applause. Her compliments sound hollow, her smiles forced. She may never say it outright, but her actions reveal the truth. Your happiness threatens her. Your achievements ignite her insecurities. This is the jealous spirit at work, tearing down what it cannot build, resenting what it cannot achieve. A jealous woman often hides her envy under the guise of concern. She might say things like, "Are you sure you're ready for that promotion?" Or, "Don't you think you're rushing into this?" These words may sound like advice, but their true intent is to plant doubt, to make you second-guess yourself. Her goal isn't to help you, it's to hold you back, to keep you small enough so that she feels big in comparison. Jealousy is insidious because it disguises itself as protectiveness, honesty, or even love. But make no mistake, a jealous spirit cannot love you sincerely because it views you as competition. It cannot celebrate your growth because it sees your progress as its loss. It cannot wish you well because it fears being left behind. A jealous woman's actions speak louder than her words. She might downplay your successes, subtly dismissing your achievements as luck or undeserved. "Oh, you got that job. They must have been desperate to fill the position." Or, "You're lucky things just seem to fall into place for you." These comments may seem minor, but their cumulative effect is devastating. They chip away at your confidence, making you question your worth. But jealousy doesn't stop at words. A jealous spirit often turns to sabotage. It might spread rumors, distort truths, or stir conflict to undermine your success. For example, she might share sensitive information you trusted her with, spinning it in a way that harms your reputation. Or she might subtly pit you against others, creating rifts in your relationships. Her goal is to isolate you, to make you feel unsupported, so she can maintain her perceived position of power. What drives this jealous spirit? At its core, jealousy is rooted in fear, fear of inadequacy, fear of being overlooked, fear of losing control. A jealous woman measures her worth not by her own achievements, but by her ability to outshine others. And when she feels she cannot compete, she seeks to diminish those around her. Let me ask you, have you ever felt the sting of someone's jealousy disguised as advice? Have you ever noticed someone pulling away just when you're at your happiest? These are the signs of a jealous spirit at work, a spirit that cannot rejoice in the happiness of others because it sees their joy as a threat. But here's the truth. Jealousy does not define your worth. Someone else's jealousy is not your burden to bear. You are not responsible for their insecurities, their fears, or their inability to celebrate your success. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not dim your light to soothe their darkness. A jealous woman may try to hold you back, but her power lies in your willingness to listen to her doubts, to accept her limitations as your own. The moment you recognize her jealousy for what it is, a reflection of her insecurities, not your abilities, you free yourself from its grip. The jealous spirit is destructive, but it is also weak. It thrives on fear, insecurity, and comparison. It cannot coexist with confidence, self-awareness, and authenticity. The more you embrace your true self, the less power jealousy holds over you. Remember this: your success is not a threat, it is an inspiration. Your growth is not a competition, it is a testament to what is possible. And your light does not diminish others, it shows them what it means to shine. Never let the jealous spirit of another dim the greatness that resides within you. Keep growing, keep thriving, and keep shining no matter who tries to pull you down. The gossiping tongue. And the third mark of an evil woman is the gossiping tongue, a weapon that cuts deeper than any blade and leaves wounds that are often invisible but no less painful. Gossip, at its core, is not just idle talk. It is the deliberate act of sowing discord, spreading negativity, and tarnishing the reputations of others for personal gain or satisfaction. A gossiping tongue doesn't just speak, it destroys. Have you ever trusted someone with your deepest fears, your proudest moments, or your fragile dreams, only to hear them echoed back through the mouths of others? That is the power of a gossiping tongue, a force that betrays trust, undermines bonds, and thrives on the chaos it creates. This is not the voice of a friend, it is the whisper of destruction. The gossiping tongue operates in shadows, moving quietly from one person to the next, feeding on the vulnerabilities of others. It thrives on half-truths and exaggerations, carefully twisting facts to fit its narrative. A gossiping woman rarely confronts. Instead, she manipulates from behind the scenes, ensuring her hands appear clean while the damage unfolds. What drives such behavior? The answer lies in insecurity and a need for control. A gossiping woman often feels powerless in her own life, so she seeks to control the lives of others through words. She envies what she cannot have and seeks to tear it down with whispers. She craves attention and validation, using gossip as a currency to gain favor or influence. But make no mistake, her loyalty is as fleeting as her words. The same tongue that speaks against others today may turn on you tomorrow. A gossiping tongue is often disguised as concern. "I'm only telling you this because I care," she might say, or "I just thought you should know." But these words are not spoken out of love, they are spoken to create division, to stir doubt, and to position herself as the one with power or knowledge. A gossiping woman delights in the fallout of her words, watching as friendships crumble, trust erodes, and relationships fracture under the weight of her lies. Let me ask you, have you ever noticed how a gossiping woman always has a new story to tell? How she seems to know everyone's business but guards her own secrets fiercely? This is not coincidence. Gossip is a game of control, and the less you know about her, the more power she holds over you. Gossip is dangerous because it spreads like wildfire. A single whispered lie can travel further and faster than the truth ever could. It infects the minds of those who hear it, planting seeds of doubt and mistrust. And even when the truth is revealed, the damage is already done. Reputations are tarnished, relationships are strained, and the scars of betrayal remain. But here's the thing about gossip: it says more about the one speaking it than the one it's about. A gossiping tongue reveals a restless heart, a mind consumed by envy, and a spirit that thrives on negativity. It is a mark of weakness, not strength, of insecurity, not confidence. Recognizing a gossiping tongue is essential, not just to protect yourself, but to preserve the integrity of your relationships. Watch for the signs. The woman who always seems to know the worst about others, who thrives on sharing secrets that aren't hers to tell, who enjoys the drama her words create. She is not your friend, no matter how convincing her words may seem. So what can you do when faced with such a person? First, protect your energy. Do not engage, do not participate, and do not allow her words to take root in your mind. Remember, gossip only holds power when it is repeated and believed. By refusing to listen or spread her stories, you rob her of the control she seeks. Second, be mindful of what you share. A gossiping tongue is always hungry for new material, and your words could become her next weapon. Guard your dreams, your plans, and your vulnerabilities, sharing them only with those who have proven their loyalty and integrity. And finally, confront the behavior if you can. A gossiping woman relies on the silence of others to continue her work. By calling out her actions calmly and firmly, you can disrupt the cycle of gossip and reclaim the peace that her words seek to destroy. The gossiping tongue is a powerful tool of destruction, but it is also a sign of emptiness. A woman who thrives on tearing others down is a woman who has failed to build herself up. She is trapped in a cycle of negativity, unable to find joy in her own life and seeking to fill that void by damaging the lives of others. But here's the truth: you do not have to be her victim. You do not have to let her words define you or dictate your relationships. Recognize the gossiping tongue for what it is: a desperate cry for attention, a reflection of her own insecurities, and rise above it. Your strength lies in your ability to hold fast to the truth, to protect your peace, and to refuse to be drawn into her chaos. The self-centered mindset. The fourth mark of an evil woman is the self-centered mindset, a consuming force that prioritizes personal gain above all else leaving no room for empathy, compassion, or mutual respect. A self-centered woman sees the world not as a place for collaboration, but as a stage for her own desires, where others exist solely to serve her needs and fulfill her ambitions. At first, the self-centered mindset may appear as confidence or self-assurance. She might project an air of independence, declaring that she knows what she wants and will stop at nothing to get it. But beneath this exterior lies a stark reality. Her world revolves solely around herself, and everyone else is a means to an end. Have you ever encountered someone who makes every conversation about themselves? No matter what you're discussing, your achievements, your struggles, or your dreams, they manage to steer the focus back to their own experiences. They don't listen to understand, they listen to respond, to shift the spotlight back onto themselves. This is the hallmark of a self-centered mindset, a complete inability to prioritize anyone else's needs or feelings. A self-centered woman demands constant attention and validation. If you don't give it willingly, she will find ways to take it. She craves the spotlight, not because she seeks to inspire or uplift, but because she needs others to affirm her worth. She will interrupt your moments of joy, dismiss your struggles, and overshadow your successes, ensuring that she remains the focal point in every situation. Her relationships are not built on mutual respect or shared growth. They are transactional. She gives only to receive, loves only to be loved, and supports only when it benefits her. She views others not as partners or equals, but as tools, people to be used, discarded, or replaced depending on their utility. A self-centered woman often hides her selfishness behind a veil of charm. She knows how to make you feel important, how to flatter you just enough to keep you engaged. But pay close attention, her actions will always betray her words. She may promise to support you, but when the time comes, she'll find an excuse to prioritize her own needs. She may offer to help, but her assistance will come with strings attached, ensuring that you owe her more than she gave. This mindset is most evident in times of crisis. When someone truly cares, they step up, offering support, understanding, and compassion. But a self-centered woman will disappear when you need her most, only to reappear when the storm has passed, eager to reclaim the attention she feels she deserves. Her concern is not for your well-being, but for how your situation impacts her. Let me ask you, have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone? Not because of what they said or did, but because their presence seemed to take more than it gave. That's the effect of a self-centered mindset. It consumes energy, leaving you feeling exhausted, undervalued, and unseen. The self-centered woman thrives in environments where others are too polite or too afraid to call out her behavior. She relies on your willingness to accommodate her, to put her needs above your own, and to sacrifice your peace for her satisfaction. But the moment you set boundaries, the moment you prioritize your well-being, she will reveal her true nature: angry, dismissive, or manipulative, trying to regain control. Her self-centeredness also stifles growth, both in herself and in others. A healthy relationship requires give and take, mutual support, and shared goals. But with a self-centered woman, there is only take. She demands your time, energy, and resources without offering anything of real value in return. Over time, this imbalance erodes trust, creates resentment, and prevents both parties from reaching their full potential. What drives this self-centered mindset? Often it stems from deep-seated insecurities, a fear of being unworthy, unnoticed, or unloved. By making herself the center of attention, she tries to mask these fears, creating an illusion of confidence that hides her vulnerability. But this approach only isolates her further, pushing away the very people who might have offered genuine connection and support. To navigate a relationship with a self-centered woman, you must first recognize the behavior for what it is. It's not your job to fix her or to constantly cater to her needs at the expense of your own. You have the right to set boundaries, to demand reciprocity, and to surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not for what you can provide. The self-centered mindset may be destructive, but it is not invincible. It relies on the complicity of others, on their willingness to prioritize her needs, to overlook her selfishness, and to accept her behavior as normal. The moment you refuse to play along, you take back your power, creating space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Stay vigilant, stay grounded, and remember, you are not a supporting character in someone else's story. You are the protagonist of your own life, deserving of respect, care, and mutual understanding. Never let someone's self-centered mindset overshadow your own worth. The saboteur of dreams. The fifth mark of an evil woman is the saboteur of dreams, a force that works in shadows to dismantle hope, crush ambition, and stifle the growth of others. This trait is perhaps one of the most insidious because it targets not just the present but the very foundation of a person's future, their dreams. Dreams are fragile yet powerful. They are the fuel that propels us forward, the vision that keeps us striving when the journey is hard. But in the presence of a dream saboteur, those aspirations can feel like a burden instead of a beacon. She is not content to watch you thrive. Your success becomes a threat to her sense of control, her perception of superiority, and her comfort in mediocrity. Instead of lifting you up, she seeks to pull you down, ensuring that your potential remains unfulfilled. Let me ask you, have you ever shared a goal or vision with someone, only to be met with dismissive laughter, subtle doubts, or outright negativity? You'll never make it. Why bother trying? That's too ambitious. These phrases may sound like harmless skepticism, but in the hands of a dream saboteur, they are weapons. Each word is designed to plant a seed of doubt, to make you question your abilities and abandon the path you were meant to walk. The saboteur of dreams often cloaks her intentions in concern. She may frame her discouragement as advice, saying things like, "I just don't want you to get hurt," or "You should be realistic." But what she truly fears is not your failure, it's your success. Because your growth highlights her stagnation, your courage exposes her fear, and your achievements remind her of everything she hasn't dared to pursue. Her tactics are not always overt. Sometimes they are subtle, a dismissive comment here, a lack of support there. She might withhold praise or shift the conversation when you talk about your ambitions, making you feel as though your dreams are insignificant or foolish. Over time, this erosion of encouragement can make you doubt yourself, even if you started with unshakable confidence. But the saboteur doesn't stop at words. She may actively create obstacles, sabotaging opportunities that could lead to your success. For example, she might downplay your skills to others, spread rumors that damage your reputation, or deliberately distract you when you need focus the most. Her actions are calculated to keep you from reaching heights she cannot control. This behavior often stems from deep insecurity. A woman who sabotages dreams is often someone who has given up on her own. Instead of facing her fears, she projects them onto others, ensuring that no one around her rises higher than she dares to climb. She cannot celebrate your ambition because it reminds her of the potential she abandoned. She cannot cheer for your victories because they illuminate her defeats. The saboteur of dreams is dangerous because she doesn't just aim to stop you, she aims to make you stop yourself. Her greatest weapon is the doubt she plants in your mind, making you believe that your goals are unattainable, your efforts futile, and your worth tied to her approval. But here's the truth, your dreams are not hers to judge, diminish, or control. They are yours to protect, nurture, and pursue. How do you recognize a dream saboteur? Pay attention to how she responds when you share your aspirations. Does she encourage you, offer support, and share in your excitement? Or does she belittle your goals, dismiss your plans, and focus on the potential pitfalls? A true supporter will challenge you constructively, helping you grow without tearing you down. A saboteur, on the other hand, will focus only on the negatives, ensuring that you feel small, unprepared, or incapable. So what can you do if you find yourself in the presence of a saboteur of dreams? First, guard your vision fiercely. Not everyone deserves access to your aspirations. Share them only with those who have earned your trust, who have shown that they will uplift you instead of tearing you down. Second, separate her doubts from your reality. Her fears are not your limitations, they are her chains, not yours. Finally, surround yourself with people who inspire and believe in you, those who see your potential and want to see you succeed. Dreams are the lifeblood of progress, the spark that turns possibility into reality. Do not let anyone, no matter how close they are, extinguish that spark. A saboteur of dreams may try to dim your light, but your flame burns brighter when fueled by determination, self-belief, and the courage to pursue your path. Your dreams are yours for a reason. They were placed in your heart to guide you toward your purpose. Do not give that power to someone who seeks to control it, diminish it, or destroy it. Keep dreaming, keep striving, and remember, the saboteur of dreams can only succeed if you let her. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and never let anyone stand between you and the life you were meant to create. The mask of innocence. The sixth mark of an evil woman is the mask of innocence, a deceptive facade that hides manipulation, deceit, and malice behind a veil of purity and victimhood. This is perhaps one of the most dangerous traits because it exploits trust, disarms suspicion, and confuses those around her. A woman who wears this mask knows how to craft an image so convincing that it becomes nearly impossible to see the truth beneath it. The mask of innocence is not worn by accident. It is deliberate, calculated, and often perfected over time. A woman with this trait knows the power of perception. She understands that if she can appear virtuous, kind, and blameless, she can control how others see her, even when her actions betray her true nature. She is the master of the double life, maintaining an impeccable outward image while quietly orchestrating chaos behind the scenes. Have you ever encountered someone who always seems to be the victim? No matter the situation, she's never at fault. Every disagreement, every conflict, every failure somehow, it's always someone else's doing. This is the hallmark of the mask of innocence. She uses it to divert attention, deflect responsibility, and ensure that she is always seen as the aggrieved party. "How could I possibly be the problem?" she'll say, often with tears or a trembling voice. And the world believes her because she wears the mask so well. This mask is not just about playing the victim, it's about manipulation. She uses her perceived innocence to gain sympathy, to win allies, and to deflect accountability. If someone dares to challenge her or expose her true nature, she turns the tables, painting them as the aggressor. "I can't believe you'd accuse me of that," she'll say, casting doubt on the motives of the person speaking the truth. This tactic isolates her critics and protects her from scrutiny, allowing her to continue her destructive behavior unchecked. But the mask of innocence is more than just a shield, it's also a weapon. She uses it to control those around her, leveraging their trust and goodwill to her advantage. For example, she might pretend to be overwhelmed or helpless, knowing that others will step in to support her. Once she has their help, she'll exploit it, taking as much as she can while offering little in return. And if her benefactors begin to question her motives, she'll remind them of all she supposedly endured, guilt-tripping them into submission. This behavior is especially dangerous in relationships. A woman who wears the mask of innocence can make her partner feel like they are always in the wrong, even when they're not. She might cry during arguments, twist facts to fit her narrative, or accuse her partner of being insensitive or abusive. Her goal is to maintain control by making her partner question their own judgment, emotions, and reality. This is not love, it's manipulation disguised as vulnerability. The mask of innocence is also a powerful tool in social settings. She knows how to charm a crowd, appearing gracious, humble, and compassionate. People are drawn to her, believing in the image she projects. But behind closed doors, her true nature emerges. She might gossip, scheme, or manipulate, all while ensuring that no one suspects her of wrongdoing. If confronted, she'll deny everything, using her reputation as a shield. "Do you really think I could do something like that?" she'll ask, leaving her accuser doubting their own perceptions. So, how do you recognize the mask of innocence? Pay attention to patterns, not just isolated incidents. Does she always seem to have an excuse for her behavior? Does she frequently play the victim, even in situations where she is clearly at fault? Does she use her perceived innocence to gain sympathy or manipulate others? These are all signs that the mask is at play. It's important to remember that the mask of innocence is not a reflection of weakness, it's a calculated strategy. A woman who wears this mask is often intelligent, resourceful, and highly skilled at reading people. She knows how to exploit emotions, perceptions, and social dynamics to her advantage, but her power lies in the illusion she creates. Once the mask is removed, her influence begins to crumble. To protect yourself from the mask of innocence, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't let her tears, words, or outward appearance blind you to her actions. Look beyond the surface and observe how she treats others, especially when no one is watching. And most importantly, don't let her manipulate your emotions. You are not obligated to fix her problems, defend her actions, or carry her burdens. The mask of innocence may be convincing, but it is not impenetrable. Its power lies in deception, and deception can only thrive in the absence of truth. Once you see through the mask, you can protect yourself from its influence. Stay grounded, stay observant, and remember, true innocence does not need to be proven. It speaks for itself through actions, not appearances. The lack of empathy. The seventh and final mark of an evil woman is the lack of empathy, a cold void where compassion, understanding, and kindness should reside. This is not merely an absence of care, it is a deliberate choice to disregard the feelings, struggles, and humanity of others. A woman who lacks empathy views people not as individuals with emotions and dreams, but as objects to be used, discarded, or manipulated to serve her interests. Empathy is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. It allows us to connect, to comfort, and to understand one another. Without empathy, there is no trust, no love, no respect, only emptiness masquerading as connection. A woman without empathy cannot form genuine bonds because she sees no value in others beyond what they can offer her. Have you ever tried to share your pain with someone only to be met with indifference? Have you ever sought comfort only to find coldness? This is the experience of dealing with a person who lacks empathy. She might listen to your words, but she will not hear your heart. She might nod in agreement, but her mind is elsewhere, calculating how your situation affects her, not how she can support you. A woman devoid of empathy is often skilled at masking her indifference. She knows how to mimic concern, saying the right words at the right times to maintain appearances. "That must be so hard for you," she might say, but her actions reveal the truth: she doesn't care. When the moment passes, so does her feigned interest. She will not follow up, offer help, or show genuine concern because your struggles are irrelevant to her unless they serve her agenda. This lack of empathy is most apparent in her actions. She will make decisions that hurt others without hesitation, prioritizing her desires over their well-being. She will betray confidences, exploit vulnerabilities, and create conflict, all while remaining unaffected by the pain she causes. But her conscience does not stir because she has numbed it with self-interest. To her, other people's feelings are obstacles, not considerations. In relationships, a lack of empathy manifests as neglect, manipulation, and cruelty. A woman without empathy will dismiss your emotions, belittle your struggles, and invalidate your experiences. If you express hurt, she will twist the narrative, making herself the victim or blaming you for being too sensitive. Her goal is not to understand, but to silence, to maintain control by denying your right to feel. She will also use others as pawns in her schemes, exploiting their trust and goodwill without a second thought. For example, she might manipulate friends or family members into taking sides in conflicts she creates, caring little about the damage done to those relationships. Her lack of empathy blinds her to the ripple effects of her actions, leaving chaos in her wake. What drives this lack of empathy? Often it stems from deep-seated narcissism or emotional detachment. A woman who lacks empathy sees the world through a lens of self-importance, believing that her needs, desires, and feelings are the only ones that matter. She cannot connect with others on a meaningful level because she does not see them as equals, only as tools or obstacles. Let me ask you, have you ever felt invisible in someone's presence, as though your words, your feelings, your very existence didn't matter? That's what it's like to be in the orbit of a woman who lacks empathy. She will take what she needs from you, your time, your energy, your love, and give nothing in return. And when you are drained, she will move on to her next source of supply, leaving you to pick up the pieces. The lack of empathy is particularly dangerous because it erodes your sense of self-worth. When someone repeatedly disregards your feelings, it's easy to start questioning their validity. Maybe I'm overreacting, you think. Maybe I don't deserve better, but let me tell you, you are not overreacting, and you absolutely deserve better. Your feelings are valid, your pain is real, and your worth is not defined by someone else's inability to see it. How do you protect yourself from a woman who lacks empathy? First, recognize the signs. Does she consistently dismiss your feelings, shift the focus back to herself, or show no genuine concern for your struggles? Does she take without giving, criticize without understanding, or hurt without remorse? These are all red flags that her lack of empathy is affecting your well-being. Second, set boundaries. You have the right to demand respect, to prioritize your needs, and to walk away from relationships that harm you. A woman who lacks empathy will not change unless she chooses to, and it's not your responsibility to fix her. Protect your peace, your energy, and your self-worth by refusing to engage in her games. Finally, surround yourself with people who uplift you, who see you for who you are, and who value your feelings. True connection is built on mutual understanding, compassion, and care, qualities that a woman without empathy cannot offer. Seek relationships that nourish your soul, not ones that drain it. A lack of empathy may leave scars, but it also teaches powerful lessons. It shows you the importance of protecting your heart, of valuing your emotions, and of seeking relationships that are rooted in love and respect. Never forget you're worthy of empathy, care, and kindness. Do not settle for anything less. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've journeyed through the 7 marks of an evil woman, it's clear that these traits, manipulation, jealousy, gossip, selfishness, sabotage, false innocence, and a lack of empathy, are not just behaviors, but weapons that damage trust, erode relationships, and diminish the spirit of those who encounter them. These marks are a reflection of inner turmoil projected outward, wreaking havoc on anyone in their path. But this understanding is not meant to breed fear or mistrust. It's a call to vigilance and empowerment. It's a reminder that we must protect our hearts, our dreams, and our peace from those who seek to harm or control. By recognizing these signs, we equip ourselves with the power to discern, to distance, and to rise above. In life, we will inevitably cross paths with individuals who embody some, if not all, of these traits. They may come disguised as friends, partners, or even mentors. But the key to safeguarding yourself lies in clarity. See people for who they are, not who they pretend to be. Trust actions over words, patterns over promises, and integrity over charm. At the same time, let us not forget to look inward. While it's important to identify these marks in others, we must also be courageous enough to examine ourselves. None of us are perfect, and if we are honest, we may find traces of these traits within our own behavior. This is not a cause for shame, it's an opportunity for growth. By addressing our own flaws, we can break cycles of harm and become the kind of person who uplifts others rather than tears them down. As I close, I leave you with this thought: you are the gatekeeper of your life. You decide who gets to enter, who gets to stay, and who must leave. Guard your energy, protect your dreams, and nurture relationships that are rooted in love, respect, and authenticity. And when you encounter those who carry the marks we've discussed today, remember that their behavior is not a reflection of your worth but of their own struggles. Your path is yours to walk, and your light is yours to shine. Never allow anyone, no matter how close they seem, or how convincing their facade, to dim that light. Stand firm, stand strong, and remember you were not created to live in the shadows of manipulation, jealousy, or deceit. You were created to thrive, to inspire, and to build a life of meaning and purpose. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Let us leave here with open eyes, discerning hearts, and an unwavering commitment to live and love authentically. The world needs your light. Never let anyone extinguish it.